Alright gang, welcome back to our vintage survival here in Szpakowo. It is now February. A little bit of a later start today. We'll talk about that in a minute. I did have a friend come over with a stump grinder and help me get rid of that stump finally that's been causing us massive issues over there. Then I tried to spend a little bit of effort trying to smooth that area out. It's still not perfect. It still has a big massive hill, but it is a little bit better. So hopefully, you know, maybe we'll be able to utilize that land in a little bit of a better state now that that stump's gone from there. I don't know if there's another stump kind of hidden underneath the ground in there or something or what, but yeah, it's still not perfect, but it is much better than it was. Let's put it that way. First thing first, we're going to do today, this is another day where we don't have a whole lot to do, honestly, but what we're going to do first thing here is get some water for the goats because they are out of water. We're going to top off the water on all the greenhouses as well. And then we are going to do a couple other minor things and maybe buy some more equipment for the grapes there and see what else we could potentially get into today. But yeah, not a whole lot to do today as well. But that's, you know, that's par for the course in the winter months, right? You're just not going to have as much to do in the winter months, and that's just how it would always be in real life too, right? So it is what it is. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're all doing well. Things are good here, all things considered, man. All right, perfect. All the water has been filled up for all of that. We've got a couple of the pallets there of goat milk to move over as well, which we will do today. Kind of mentioned that towards the end of the last episode that we were going to be moving some goat milk over probably in this episode, and that is going to be the case. So we'll go ahead and drop that off there for right now. We're going to drive this back. Now, potentially, now that we get rid of that stump, there is a production that I might potentially end up putting over there if it works out. It may not. I'm going to at least attempt to look at it, nonetheless, and see if it will work. We also need to get some more chicken food over to the chickens. We did do enough in the last episode to kind of suffice, but they are almost out once again, so we need to do that as well. So there's quite a few maintenance type of things to do today, for sure. There is a production I want to put down over there. It's going to cost, well, it's actually going to cost, I think, a little bit more than the amount of money we have now. But, you know, maybe we'll find a contract to do. We haven't done a contract in forever, so maybe we'll find a contract we can do, or something else even. But we need a little bit more money for one of the productions I'm considering. It may not actually be the one we put down there. There is too big of a hill there. I thought we fixed that, but evidently we did not fix it good enough. Goats should be happy. I think there is a baby goat that has spawned. No, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. There's not a baby goat. I apologize. I thought a baby goat spawned. I thought I saw one in there, but must not have been. Must have just been perspective, potentially, right? Now, this production I'm thinking about putting down is actually utilizes the. It's actually, I think it's a vanilla. I mean, maybe it's not vanilla. I don't remember, but the coal production that I wanted to put down, it utilizes basically the same type of like assets as that coal production would have been. It's just not coal. It should work. Again, you never know, but it should work. But I'm not holding my breath in case it doesn't, because the way things have been going, I can't guarantee that it will work, right? Okay, so we've got this stuff in the way. Will it accept it right here? I hope it will. Yeah, it's accepted it. Perfect. All right, so the goat milk's in there. So that production should be going. There's probably not a ton. Yeah, just the amount we just put in there. So it's got 452 liters of aged goat cheese inside right now, and then there's 2 pallets of it that have spawned. It is best to sell this aged goat cheese now, so we are going to sell that. We talked about that in the last episode. So this is going to make us a little bit of money and probably get us to where we need to be at. In regard to being able to put down that production I talked about, right? So we're going to sell this. Going to need to get the trailer over here. Let's utilize Let's utilize the stair. I say that name wrong. I know I do. It's close enough. Let's put it that way. So I asked, I don't know, a little while ago, you know, what you would like to see as far as this series goes when it's time to end this series, more specifically. You know, did you want me to sell everything off, or did you want me to keep it as a working farm? For the most part, it seems like everyone has kind of agreed in the comments that they want to see a working farm. So we'll do that, right? We won't sell everything off. We'll just, when we're done with this series, whenever that time comes, like I said, probably 10 episodes or so from now, when that time comes, we will literally leave it as a working farm. We won't sell anything specifically, which I think makes a lot of sense for most series to end that way. But I do know sometimes it's enjoyable to, if you started with nothing besides maybe a tractor and a trailer or whatever, like a survival challenge type of series, and then you know, get to the end and you sell everything off. I do think I understand the point, or the why it would be fun. I guess that's how I should put it, to sell everything off to see how much money you make. Now, one thing I should look at, and I haven't, is where we should be selling these at. I'm assuming it's the same place we always go and sell them, but I don't know. There are 2 locations, evidently. I don't think this is the right one, is it? It is the same one. Okay. So there, you can sell it at the construction site, evidently. That's interesting. And the construction site is the one that's right next to us, right? Yeah, at that house. Man, they really love their cheese at that house, I guess, huh? I mean, we're getting $500 more if we go to Spaz. So we're going to go there. Sorry, gang. The controller is still having the same issues it's been having for quite some time. There's not a whole lot I can do about it now. I'm trying to fix it, but it's getting worse the more that I play with it now. So like I said, I was hoping to wait until, you know, my next paycheck to be able to buy a controller, but I think I'm going to have to give in and do it beforehand. It's just becoming unbearable at this point, and I'm sure it's not that exciting or not that great of content to watch when the camera constantly goes whoop. Anyway, you know, minor issues, I guess, things we deal with. All right, pulling up. This should be a decent amount of money here, gang. These things are not cheap. 30 grand. Yeah, you ain't kidding, a decent amount of money. That's real good. Really, really good. I love that. All right. So we'll head on back. We got a couple other minor things we want to do. Like I said, I need to go get some food for the chickens. And some other very, very, very minor things to do. And then I think I'm going to put down that production, and then we'll see where else we get to. There's not really going to be a whole lot for us to do today. Now, what I could potentially do, and I've done it in the past, even though I don't prefer to do this, is to skip, you know, complete what I said we're going to do today, and then move to March and start March, and then do 2 episodes in March, if you will. It's always an option, but I try not to do that if I can't help it most of the time. Sometimes there's nothing for it. There's nothing I can do, but I'm going to see if I can figure out a few other things for us to do today that potentially will prevent us from having to do that. I don't like doing a video just to do a video on that month, right? And that's why I kind of broke the rules a little bit there a while in the past, I guess, for that. But, yeah, might have to. There just might not be enough for us really to have a video today, and I don't want to do a video just to do a video, as I mentioned. All right, we have wood chips in here to sell that I completely forgot about. I was going to utilize this to get some food for the chickens, but we're going to have to sell these wood chips here. Let me figure out where I can sell these at. I don't even remember. It's probably the same place we've been going to, but yeah, we need to get rid of these. We probably should have got rid of them last episode or even the one before that, but gives us something else to do today, I guess, so that's a good thing, right? Attitude adjustment. I could put them in the hats. I don't want to do that specifically. Yeah, we have to go to a different sell point than what I was expecting. We're not even going to make enough money for this. I don't want my farmland up. Why am I doing that? Alright, this one we're very familiar with going to. So let's go do that. Let's go sell these really quick. Again, it's not It's not going to make us a ton of money, unfortunately, but it will be something, right? It'll be a little bit of extra money. We'll be over 30 grand for sure. 130 grand, I should say, for sure. Then we'll come back. We'll buy some food for the chickens because they are now out. They have no food whatsoever, so they are not producing. We want them to continue to produce those eggs. Those eggs are going to be good to sell here in a month or two, maybe 3 months. Might potentially see if we can find something to do with the eggs as far as the production goes. I'm not positive. I don't think that's what I'm going to do today, though. I think the one I'm going to put down today won't be that, but it may be. Maybe it will be. I don't know. We'll see as we move along, I guess. I think I might have wanted to maybe potentially remove that last one there. I think I might have made that too wide in case I have a wide piece of equipment that I'm, taking through here. It might be beneficial for me to have a bit more space there. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. If it gets to the point where we try to and we're getting stuck, then maybe I'll remove it then. But for the time being, we might as well leave it, right? All right, we are pulling up here. Get ourselves a tiny bit more money, then we'll buy some of the food for the chickens and make sure that they're back and operating once again. Producing, I guess I should say. Oh, we didn't even get to 130,000. I thought we were going to get to 130,000. We did not. Just short of it. Okay, well, is what it is. I'll meet you back at the farm there. We'll buy some food for the chickens, drop that off, and then look potentially for my production. Although the production I'm going to be putting down, it's probably not going to really make us all that much money with the amount of time left in this series, but, well, let's just see. We'll think about it. It was on my mind to do beforehand, but, now that I'm thinking about it a little bit further, it may not be the smartest thing for us to do. Let's just look at it and see what we decide to do. All right, let's get some food here. I'm going to turn the beacon off. I don't think we need that on any longer. I'm probably going to buy a lot. So it's going to cost us a pretty penny here. Just because they chewed through like 1,500 of it in one episode, right? So let's go with that. Let's go with 17,000 liters. I feel like that should be sufficient, plenty for a while. Hopefully that's the case. It's a heavy load, man. It's slow to get up there and move that. We'll go over there and look at what I was talking about with the fix that I made over there behind our aged goat cheese production here in just a second, because we're going to be over there anyway talking about productions potentially to put there, right? All right, so the chickens should now be in a good spot again. A quick save there. It looks like they couldn't even accept any as much as I purchased, so that's a little unfortunate. I bought a bunch of wheat for no reason. Oh, it says it can hold more. Now it can't. All right, so I should have looked that up before I bought it. I don't know why I didn't do that. That was a mistake on my part. That's all right. Things happen, right? I guess the rest of this I can just put into the mill. I mean, it's not going to make us as much money as it could if we were to harvest it ourselves, but, at least we'll get something back for it. What is happening right now? Stop. Just unload the whole thing. It can't accept anymore? Is that what it is? I don't know why it kept stopping for some reason. Maybe it's because of the mill, the windmill itself. It was hitting a trigger where it wasn't allowing it to accept it. I don't know. Very weird. But at least that's going again, I guess. Right? So I'm going to put this back over here. I'm going to actually... I probably should put it back the right way. I was going to say I'm actually going to put it the wrong way, but no, I probably should do it the right way. Lots of eggs over there spawned, which is great. And this thing is having trouble getting out of the gears there, the low end gears. I think we talked about that. Like, this thing is pretty nice, but there's some gear changes there. The low gear changes. It has a lot of issues getting that set the proper way. That's good enough. We're gonna leave it there. Okay, so those are those things accomplished. So let's look at the productions, like I said we were going to do. That's really the next goal here. I'm going to go park this over here. So I'm going to show you first what I was thinking about doing, but now that I'm kind of reconsidering it, we'll see. So, used market, anything in the used market? No, nothing in the used market. Okay. So production-wise, what I was considering doing was this. It's $99,000. Stones can be collected for free. Now, stones are not worth a whole lot of money, but I was thinking, you know, we could put this here, right? Take up some of this space, if you will. And then maybe do another production with the stones, turn them into lime or whatever. And then we could sell the lime. Now, this was the exact same design for the coal factory. It was, identical to this. And my initial plan was to put it here. As you can see, it kind of almost fits perfectly back here in this little cubby, if you will, because of the way that it's designed, right? But the coal one wasn't going to work. I really wanted to do the coal one in this series, and it just didn't work. I wanted to do it in the one-tile challenge series as well, and that just didn't work either. So, so I'm kind of considering potentially doing this here. Yeah, but I don't know what else I would do with the stones, though. They're just not going to make us a ton of money. I mean, it's free stones, I guess, but it's not really going to make us a bunch of money. The only thing I could think we could do is maybe do something with the eggs, right? But I think the eggs are going to require other things to accomplish as well, right? It's not just going to be eggs by themselves to be able to turn into something. Unless we find some kind of like a breakfast place to make like scrambled eggs or something like that. Which I don't think we're going to be able to do, right? So that's why I'm kind of leaning towards maybe going ahead and just doing that anyway. That's the fishing stuff, which I'm not against by any means, by the way. I really like the fishing stuff that came with it. There's some really, really cool stuff in here. I really, really like all this stuff. Fishing quarry. Okay, that's the first time actually I looked at that. That's pretty cool, actually. But there's some really, really cool stuff there from the Highlands fishing pack. So, this is the flour mill I'm talking about. I mean, I would love to have it, but it's $280,000, gang. I mean, if we get, we will. When we get to that amount, we're almost going to be done with the series at this point. So it's kind of why I'm like, we might just scratch this whole approach since we went with the hat production instead. We might scratch that whole approach. I think the mill we have now is working fine. We have it on auto selling for the time being, but the biggest problem with it is it just doesn't have enough storage. Yeah. We could do that and then potentially do this, which would make lime. I think I'm going to put the stones down. I think I'm going to do it. And then we'll see what we can come up with as far as, you know, making something else with it. I think I'm going to do it, man. I want to do it, so I think we're going to, as long as it works. Let's do a quick autosave here. I don't want the game crashing on me. Well, I say autosave. A quick save is what I should say. I always say autosave because most of the time whenever I go to the menu, because I haven't been in the menu for a while, it just autosaves for me at that point, right? And the reason why I want to put it here is because this is the area... Well, here, actually, as a matter of fact, I should probably show you that before I put it down, right? This is the area where that stump was. I got rid of it, clearly, but it is still on a slant here. It really won't let me do anything else besides that slant. It won't allow me to pull this up to here for whatever reason. There's like this little bump right here, which I think maybe there's a hidden stump or something down in there that I can't get to. That's causing that issue. I could be wrong on that statement. It might just be the fact that, you know, the road's right here and the bridge is right here, but yeah, anyway. So it wants me to put it there. Let's see. I don't think I'm necessarily against that. It's going to do a lot of land manipulation, I think. How does it look land manipulation-wise? looks pretty severe on the land manipulation, as a matter of fact. I'm not 100% against it, though. I think it's okay. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, it's going to have a little bit of a raise here, but I should be able to clear this side out. And really, the back side, I don't really care that much about that. We're never going to be over there anymore. I mean, yeah, it's allowing me to smooth this out leading up to it. So, again, I don't really think it's that big of a deal. This side right here doesn't really make that big of a difference. Nothing really happens over here. In my understanding, at least, this is just kind of all part of the design. Really, all we need is right here. And you can see the stones are already dropping on the ground there. So, what I need to do now is what I should have just stayed connected to that. I'm going to go ahead and just put the trailer underneath it and let the trailer just get full. I think that's the best way to go about it. Are there going to be some on the ground that we're going to have to drive over and eventually probably pick up with some kind of a bucket? Yeah, there are. We'll probably buy a bucket for the Massey Ferguson, honestly. But for the time being, I mean, you know, just putting this under there and letting it collect it, it seems like a win-win to me. And it takes up a lot of space over there that was kind of, you know, empty and unused, if you will. Now we've got all this space over here that we may or may not do anything with. We obviously need enough room to turn around and back this up. Ooh, is it not going to accept them? Maybe I can't do what I'm trying to do here. Maybe this isn't going to work. Oh, I don't think that's going to work, is it? I mean, it's dropping them on the ground, but I think I have to pick this up manually. Okay, well, I was hoping that that was going to be, you know, a way to help fix that, but that appears that's not going to be the case, unfortunately. That's okay. As long as I can pick them up, which it seems like I can, right? Hopefully I can. Then I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, it might suck a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. So we can leave that there now. That can be the stone trailer, if you will. But I mean, it's definitely dropping stones on the ground. I just wish it would have allowed us to drop it directly into the trailer. That seems a little unrealistic that doesn't allow us to do that, doesn't it? Seems a little weird to me. You would think that would be, you know, the way it would work. And now I'm just painting over that, and they're going away. I'm going to come around the back here, though, even though I said it doesn't really matter. I am going to come around the back here and probably try to smooth some of this area out a little bit more if it lets me. Just make it look a little bit more realistic than it does. Because right now it doesn't really look that realistic there, right? So let's do that. Now this side, I don't think it's going to let me do anything because this is the area that was already having issues. There's that little bump I was talking about. It was not allowing me to smooth that out no matter what I did. Okay, there we go. It's working, so we'll take it. I'm happy with that. It's actually working a lot better than I thought it was going to work. So we need some kind of a bucket so we can get those out. So I think, like I said, let's just get a bucket for the Massey Ferguson there. It probably isn't going to be the largest bucket in the world. I wonder if I can get... 2,000. Okay, that's actually not that bad. 2,000 is not that bad. That's not that bad. That's bigger than most of the buckets we have here. Okay, I stand corrected. I am sorry. It's only $1,000. I am sorry that I questioned it. drop this off, and we're going to have to head all the way up there. It's going to be a slow grind to get up there, but we're going to have to head on up there and pick up the bucket, and we'll come back here and we'll start filling that up. Oh, we got another thing of aged goat cheese have spawned too. That's good. Let's get up there and get this done, and we'll get back here and start picking up some of these stones. Why am I all over the road? What is happening right now? Whoa! I went out of control there for a minute. All right, let's head on up there and get the bucket, and we'll come back here and start picking up some of the stones and see how it works. All right, we're almost back here, gang, and I actually was able to get the pallet there of seeds on top of this. I had a guy at the shop help me get this up here. It's staying somehow, and somehow it didn't unload into the actual bucket, which is also a good thing for us. But nonetheless, we are able to get this back finally, so that's good. One less thing that we have to worry about when it comes to remembering that that's up there, right? We can utilize this directly to fill our seeder and planter, or anything else for that matter. I'm going to use it by hand. Bear with me for a minute here, gang. Oh, they tried to put it in there. It did put some in there, didn't it? It did. Well, shoot. We'll move that out and dump it in there. That way we can get rid of it, and that way we can go over here and start picking up some of these stones and see how it goes. May not be the best place to put the trailer where that is for the stones. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. There's certain areas that I definitely am better at if I have it kind of at an angle. That's why I normally put like my trailers and stuff at an angle whenever we're getting ready to load stuff in there. It's not dumping. Okay, that went well. Fantastic. Well, great. I'm about to pick that up now. Alright, we'll pick that up in a minute. Let's go to get the stones. Let's worry on the stones for now. I want to try this out. This bucket is huge, man. I guess it should be at 2,000 liters. It should be, right? Yep, picking up the stones perfectly. Not many, even though it looks like there's more than that in there, but it only has 16 liters of stones right now. Which is a shame. No, there's more than that. Okay, just wasn't low enough on the ground, I guess. Gonna be a little difficult, I think, to get some of this up until there's more in there. Well, here, okay, here's the other thing I didn't think about. Will this even reach up here? I think it will, only just. But I didn't even think about that. Would it reach? Well, actually, it might not. By the time I try to dump it, it's not going to reach. We need a smaller trailer now, gang. Oh boy, this is becoming a disaster here, isn't it? Okay. I know I can modify this. I just don't know if I can modify it to be low enough for this. It might be time for us to consider making an upgrade to one of these Volvos here. Obviously, we don't have enough money to do it right now. Well, I'll tell you what. That's something we can try to figure out. You know, between, well, maybe not between now and the next episode. It started. We can try to figure that out here in the next couple of episodes, maybe. Right? As we move along, we can try to figure this out. So I don't have the answer for it right now. I think it's going to be me going up there and maybe getting a different trailer is probably the answer. A smaller trailer. That's probably the answer that I'm going to be having to do. That's probably the better approach than just going and buying a whole other, you know, wheel loader or skid steer or whatever. Really, that Volvo is the only other thing we can buy, and that's the wheel loader, which we've utilized that in the past, and I've loved this thing, so I don't necessarily want to get rid of it. So probably the smaller trailer might be the way to go here. Which means we might go back to our one of our starting trailers, right? The other Massey Ferguson that we got. The one before this one. The smaller version of the one we have now. It is... Oh, man, this is a disaster. This is a disaster. It's not even allowing me to... It's not even allowing me to dump this in there. Let me try this. Why, the tires are wet on that, John, dude. Did we go across something with wet tires? They look super wet to me. This ain't gonna work. Shit. I screwed that up, man. I really screwed that up. Well, what can I do with these seeds, then? I don't know what I can do with these things. I guess I could try the other one. The other one's a little bit lower. Let's try the other one. If this doesn't work, then I have no idea what I'm going to do with this. There's not a whole lot of room in there, but I think there should be enough, hopefully, for us to be able to fit that. If not, we can unload it, I guess, and then fill it up again, and then unload it, and then that way we get it back into a pallet form, if you will, right? Alright, please work. It didn't work. It cannot be this difficult for me to get rid of the seed into these. Alright, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this seed then, gang. I guess I'm going to figure that out. Because it's, okay, can you please get into the tractor, not on top of the actual planter, please? Thank you. I guess what I can do, and I didn't even think about it until now, I bet this will work. I guess what I can do is put it into our silos, hopefully. And then from the silos, I can unload it. But I'll probably forget it's in the silos. But, I mean, it's not that much seed, so I guess it doesn't really make that big of a difference. But I think that's the only other choice I have at this point. Nothing else is working. Now, this is truly depends on if this even works. Hopefully it does. Sorry, gang, I'm going to stop the traffic for a minute there. Oh, this has been turned into just a disaster of an episode, hasn't it? Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Okay, well, I don't know what I'm going to do with this then, gang. This is, Oh, boy. Well, I'm going to put that there for right now. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. That is a mess. I really screwed that one up. I screwed the pooch on that. Look at these morons. What a bunch of idiots. They're honking the horn at each other. Alright, well, that was lackluster ending there for sure, but we're going to leave the episode at this point. I hope you enjoyed it, gang. We've got new production down, and we got some other things obviously accomplished as well, so things are looking good here for us. We only got $20,000, but we should have a little bit more money by the time the next episode starts. We might have to turn off some of the auto-selling at that point for some of these things as well, because the prices should be probably in a little bit of a worse spot, and we're, depending on what it is, we're probably going to turn off the auto-selling at that point. But thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for continued support. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe button in the case you have yet to do so. Thank you to my members. Cannot thank you guys enough. There's a link down below if you're interested in that. There's also a Discord link down there. My other channel link is down there. Everything you need, it's all down below in the description, as I've always mentioned. But yeah, we're making some further progress here. Series is going to be coming to a close before you know it, unfortunately. And but that's an okay unfortunate, really, because we've got some other good things on the docket planned and ready to go. Thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for your support, man. We'll see you next time.